kinds of difficulties of the mind, and you've made up your mind you're going to try to move out of that condition. You then enter into the water, which is meditation. Moses means drawn out. Out of the water, out of that second stage of meditation, comes this child from within you, which will be the child that will lead you out of the guilt and fear of Egypt, of the lower mind, into that which is the right hemisphere of the brain. The emotions, which are the churning Red Sea, will split apart, and you go over into the promised land. Okay? Now, the interesting thing is, as Moses is born, as that child is born within you, it starts to come into conflicts with the other aspects of your mind. That's when Moses kills somebody and then he has to run out. When you run away, you run out into the wilderness. Moses goes into the wilderness. That's when you're now driving into that point of meditation. When you go into the wilderness, you go into meditation. If you'll look with me at page 1005 in the book of Revelation, and I believe it's 1005, Revelation chapter 5, there is a description of this electrical energy. Look at me for just a second, okay? Let me tell you something here. There is no earth in your head. There is no water in your head. There is no air in your head. There is no fire in your head. There is no sleeping serpent in your body, okay? These are all symbols of what? Electrical energy. That's all it is. It's symbols of electrical energy, and it's simply describing how the electrical energy works within your body. It's a very scientific principle, and all of these words are used to represent. And the wilderness is just the operation of electrical energy and meditation. Moses is an aspect of electrical energy that will come to life with you when you start to obey these different scientific principles. All right? Look what it says in Revelation chapter 5, and this is a description of Kundalini. And I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne, that right hand is the right hemisphere of the brain, and the throne is the higher mind, a book. This is what you call the book of life, written within. That's within you. And on the back side, that's the spine, sealed with 7 seals. Those are the 7 chakras of the 7 nerve aspects of Kundalini. So there's a description. And you know, when I was a kid, whenever I went to school, with Catholic school, they always say, is your name written in the book of life? And you know, of course, that's we've all been grown. Well, what is the book of life? We just saw it in the Bible. It's Kundalini. It is the energy within you that rises up the back, up the spine, sealed with 7 seals. Well, as we get into the story of Exodus, go to page 49, Exodus chapter 4. We found that Moses went into the wilderness. Okay? And when Moses went into the wilderness, he went to the back side of the desert. And that's an interesting thing. Look at chapter 3 of Exodus, and you'll see in verse 1, Moses kept the flock of Jethro, blah, blah. He led the flock to the back side of the desert. All right? What are you seeing here? Here's where you go into meditation, which is the wilderness. You go to the back side. That means you're starting to activate this electrical energy that flows up the spine. And when you do, you go up into the mountain, which is the higher consciousness where you confront the burning bush. Okay, you know, maybe the guy couldn't, you know, deal with it. Maybe he wants to believe that somebody ripped the rib out of this guy and made a lady out of it, which is, you know, that's just silly, making God to look silly and us who make him really look stupid. But now you got a guy sitting up there talking to a bush. I do that, but I mean, the average person doesn't really. You know, I like to talk to trees and things like that. You know, interesting thing. In all the years I've been in business and working, you know, I started to relocate. I'm going to be working out of the house and I'm working out of corporate in Philadelphia. But in all my offices, when I've been in the cable business for 22, 23 years, I've had this plastic duck with me. And it sat in every office and experienced all the lunacy that I went through, all the business conferences, everything. And, you know, it was time to take the duck. He's been with me in Brick, been with me in Point Pleasant, been with me in Trenton. He's not going to Philadelphia. I brought him back home. I said, come on, it's time to go. Well, I put him in the car, and he was laying on its side. And I looked back there, and I got him out, and I put him on the seat next to me. Why? It's just plastic, but it's a symbol of something very, very important to me. It's every memory, every confrontation I had with unions, every exciting thing I had with HBO and launching, and all these different things, it represented something very special. So that inanimate object, which was all of a sudden just there, a piece of plastic, suddenly became something real, because as soon as I look at it, it brings back tons of memories of people that I worked with and experiences that I heard. So it becomes a symbol. So it's very